is the Patriots Drive Podcast.
We are all Patriots.
Where we discuss, analyze, and answer questions to all things happening in the NFL and with our New England Patriots. Now, here's your host, Cole Kelly.
Let's go!
Welcome in, everybody, to the Patriots Drive Podcast. As you can see, we're here with special guest Alex Barth, and we're doing our annual Wheel of Chaos mock draft. This has always been fun the last 2 years that we've done it. I know you've done a little bit more. You've done some on your page, too. And they always are fun because every time it's different. It always presents a new challenge. You never know what you're going to get. I'm so excited to get into this. But how are you doing today, Alex?
Good. How are we doing? I appreciate you having me back. I appreciate you letting us borrow the wheel, as we call it, over on Patriots Beat. It's become a popular one. We'll actually be doing ours next week. It's funny, the last couple of years, it's lined up where we've done ours like the same time I do this show. But I get to space my wheel out a little bit this year. But no, I look forward to doing this every year. This is a fun one. It's a great concept because I always say that, yes, you want to try to get it right with the Patriots. And I had them taking this guy and they took him. And I'm not going to say that's not a part of it. What mock drafts really are for me, as somebody who's putting them out there publicly, here are the names you need to know. Here are the different scenarios that could happen, right? If the Patriots go tackle first, who are the names to know? And then what might it look like after that? If they go edge rusher first, here are names to know who might it look like after that. It's all about just coming up with as many different scenarios, as many different names as possible to learn the draft board. And that's the other thing here. Well, I want to get in the draft. I don't know where to start. There's so many names, blah, blah. And I always say, you can start anywhere. Pick a school, pick a position, guys with funny names, whatever you want to do. What a perfect way to find different scenarios, find different names, learn different players. Like, this is, to me, like pre-draft talk at its purest. This is what you're looking for.
I totally agree. It's so fun because we all have kind of our favorite prospects that we like targeting in certain situations, but rarely in this exercise, in this scenario, do we get to take one of those guys that we have just fallen in love with, or one that we think fits the Patriots scheme, system, whatever it is at that certain pick. So before we get into it, though, make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube. If you guys already don't follow Alex on any of his social medias, Instagram, Twitter, make sure you guys go follow him over there. Provides really good Patriot content. And then obviously at the Patriot Beat on YouTube, so you can get more content there. But let's go ahead. Let's share the screen. So we'll be doing this on NFL draft, mock draft database. So that's be where we mock draft. And if we share Alex's screen right here, let me remove it. Here is the wheel right here. So we got a couple different ones. So we have where we can trade up or down. We can take a player from any of the Power Four conferences. So the ACC, the Big Ten, the Big 12, the SEC. We have to take an offense or defensive specific one. There's one where we take the best player available. One where just me or Alex makes the pick. And then there's also one where we have to take a non-Power Four player. So someone in a group of 6 team, one of those smaller schools. So there's 12 options. There's 11 picks the Patriots have, I believe, in this year's class, and obviously we'll have some that we can trade a little bit here and there. But let's jump right into it. We will spin before we make our pick, just because we need to know if we have to trade up or down.
It's been a couple of years since we could do that. That's right. Let's let it rip here. And wow,
this is going to be tough. Round one. This is going to be tough round one. So let's
think of who's even in the mix.
There's one player that makes sense if he were to fall there. And so we'll let it roll.
Up for Jeremiah Love, like
as an independent
qualifies, right?
So this is the one that makes the most sense for me, is Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, being out of a Power 5 and being a safety. I'm trying to think of, as we scroll down here, who else would even fit in this category. Chris Johnson, maybe, if you wanted a corner.
It's tough that who just passed. They're in a power conference now, but they used to not be. They're like very recently. Malachi Lawrence, if UCF was still the American, that would be a no-brainer. Jake Golday, it's way too early. Here's the thing. I'm not as into EMW for the Patriots as other people are. I think he's a good player for what he is, but he's a true box safety. And they've talked about wanting their safeties to be more multiple, to be able to play both box and deep. And they've backed that up with their actions. When you look at the moves they've made, there's a reason Jabril Pepper and Kyle Duggar aren't here anymore. And maybe it's a lazy comp because they're both small school guys, but doesn't McNeil Warren kind of remind you a little bit of Kyle Duggar?
He definitely does.
not a bad player, but like, what's his role in the defense? But we can't fight the wheel. And I'm with you. Like, who were like the last, I'm trying to think, who were like the last 5 or 10 picks? Is there anybody else that like remotely makes sense, even if they're off the board? I know we can't take them, but
I'm scrolling through all these guys. I mean, no,
there's nobody. There's stupid realignment.
The only one that, like you said, would have made sense was Jeremiah Love, who went 4 to Tennessee, and they're independent. And I mean, they've played a Power 6 schedule in the recent memory, just putting them in a conference with COVID and stuff. But there's not a single non-Power 4 player that went before pick 31.
How confident are you that the Patriots are going to re-sign Christian Gonzalez?
I think that they're going to re-sign him. I think that they're maybe waiting on AJ Brown, the trade decision there. If he's brought in, they obviously have to save some space. The 5th-year extension or the buying or getting them the 5th-year option just buys them a little bit more time. I think that they're going to re-sign them. Because I've heard a lot of people, I actually made a post on it the other day on my Instagram. A lot of people were like, oh, this is just because they're not going to re-sign him. I don't believe that. Do you buy that, Vrabel hasn't seen enough or that they actually would let him go?
I mean, I'll never rule anything out, but like the big thing that stood out to me was Elliott Wolf citing his leadership when he was on with Kay Adams earlier this week. Because that's, you pay a player that contract. It's more than about what they do on the field. You want to be a flag bearer for your program. And
yeah,
it's not like we had heard anything negative about Christian Gonzalez as a leader. We just didn't know. He was a young guy and what was a very experienced room for a long time. So, that's some leverage for the Patriots that Elliott Wolf gave away right there. So I feel good about it. The only reason I ask is like, well, if we think there's a chance he walks, then you have a conversation about Chris Johnson. But
yeah,
it has to be Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. There's really no other way to go here.
I mean,
the wheel. This is what the wheel does to you.
I would consider Chris Johnson also if they were looking to move off of like an older Carlton Davis. Like, I think Chris Johnson fits more of a zone-specific team. I worry about his ability to play true man coverage. So that's why I don't think he's a first-round prospect, but he has great ball skills. He had great production this year at San Diego State. So if they wanted to move off of Carlton Davis, which doesn't really make sense because they just gave him a lot of money. He didn't have the best year to start the season last year, but he came on towards the playoffs and had some big-time plays there. So that would be one that would be interesting there. But I think with Marcus Jones in the slot, they're kind of set at corner, at least for the next 2 years. So
yeah,
I agree. It's crazy. I don't know how much of a Emmanuel McNeil-Warren fan I am. I think Thieneman, obviously Caleb Downs, I think some of those guys would fit a little bit better that could maybe go play deep in the post or have a little bit more positional versatility. But I agree. If I was in this spot and we had to take one, I'm probably taking McNeil-Warren over Chris Johnson.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, so I'll draft him, but let's spin the wheel for, well, I guess I can just draft and pause. I forget I can do that.
We're not going to trade up to 32.
Yeah. Okay. It rolled to 37 a little bit. I forget I have it on fast, but even if we trade
they
up,
can't realistically get higher than like from 63, like 54, 55, unless we're going to get like nuts. But so I'm taking it off, right? We take it off once we do it?
Yeah, you can. Yep, we can remove it.
Okay. So that no, we're going the other way.
Okay, so now we're trading down. So we'll get to our pick and then we'll make a trade down option and see if there's any trades that people have sent with us or if there's just something we want to do. So, I mean, if they are to trade down, and listen, I think this might be a realistic possibility. We'll look at the trades here in a minute. I want to hit on this real quick. This might be a realistic possibility because if they are to go after AJ Brown and use 2027 capital, they could look to get an extra pick in 2027. Like if they do have to move a 2027 second and a fourth, maybe they look to get a 2027 third out of this year's class because they have 11 picks. And so they might look at trading down at some point to get future capital if AJ Brown is something that they want to explore post June 1. So I don't hate this at all. I think it's realistic. We have two offers. We have Dallas, which I think is moving way too far down. We get a ton of picks.
But way too many picks. They don't need that many picks.
And then Carolina, 2 5s. And then, so I think we're going to have to make our own trade right here.
So I've got one for you here because I write this thing every year on 98.5thesportshub.com. I look at the trade chart's not nothing, but I think what's more relevant is what trades have been made from those slots in the past. Like these are the actual deals that got done. So I can tell you, and I mean, this is a minor move, but it's a move. in 2024, the 49ers traded 63 and 211 to the Chiefs for 64 and 173. So they moved back one spot on day 2 and moved up about 40. So we could move back 1 or 2 spots. And if there's a team that has, an extra, who was that gave us 2 fifths? Was it Carolina?
Carolina was offering 2 picks. So let's see.
So maybe go back to Carolina. What are their fifths? I can't quite see that.
So they have 158 and 159. So
Perfect.
back-to-back picks.
Oh, no, it's got to be a little later than that. It's got to be in like the 170s. Let me pull up the draft.
Yeah, they have 158, 159, and then in the 6th round, they have pick 200. Now, Dallas offered us, they have 177 and 180. So they have 2 picks in the 5th also, and they were the ones that threw a ton of picks at us.
So do this. Go to Dallas. Dallas has 177 and 180. So
Yes.
the trade would be, and they have to have a pick right around ours too, because we're moving right back. We're at 63. They don't. So this would be like Seattle, Arizona, Tennessee, Vegas. Vegas is the team you make this trade with.
So Vegas has 67. So we'd be moving down 5 spots. And
160. So I'm seeing them at once. Yeah. So that, and then we get back 175.
Yeah, they say that's very fair. Like that's dead even on the trade chart. Is this the trade we want to make? Move down a couple spots and get an extra 5th?
Yeah, the trade.
Oh, Alex may have just left and stuff, so we'll see if he can rejoin here in a minute. But the trade down is what we have. So what he was saying is a couple years ago, San Francisco made this trade, and they were able to move back just a couple and gain an extra 5th. So go ahead, Alex. You can. Sorry.
Yeah. So when this trade was actually made, there was a 6 going back too. We're moving back 5 spots instead of 1. So I don't love the idea of adding picks. They have a lot. Hopefully we get trade up. I want the Patriots to be aggressive. Move up the board, not down, but this is actually not a bad trade.
Do we want it? Because they have 175 and 185, and they still say that this would be accepted. Do you want to add both those so if we do get a trade up, we have more ammo?
Do that, and then just for the sake of realism, because at this point it becomes a numbers game, throw like 212 on there from us.
For us,
whatever that lowest 6 is, yeah.
Yep, the lowest 6, 212. Okay, so we're giving up pick 63 and 212 to get picks 67, which is the first pick in the 3rd round, and then 175, 185. So we'll make that trade here, move back a couple. Now we got to spin the wheel again. You want to add the wheel back in here?
Yep, let me take that off. Now, what if we get trade? Again. So what do you do if you get trade down, then trade up? Because I've gotten that, and we'll usually spin again.
I think we cancel and spin again.
But it's close. All right, well, that's an easy one. I read how you do this. Do you just do default, whoever the simulator has is the best player, or do you decide who the best player is?
I think we decide who the best player is.
So let's see who we've got. I mean, are we doing best player for the Patriots? I can tell you right now, D'Angelo Pons is the best player on that board.
I think it's got to be best player for the Patriots. Like, in our opinion, who we think is the best player right here, no matter position, whatever.
I see best player no matter what, regardless of what the Patriots need. Scroll down a little bit, but I think it's D'Angelo Pons. Yeah. If you want to do best player for the Patriots, I'll just say for the sake of the discussion, I think the debate between AJ Halsey and Golday is a good one. I think AJ Halsey's a slightly better player overall, but slightly. And what Golday gives you, Robert Spillane dealt with injuries last year. He's going to be 31. You have your starting Mike linebacker ideally for the next 10 years, potentially in a guy in Jake Golday.
And Halsey's hard because we just were forced to take Emmanuel McNeil-Warren in the first round. So Halsey would be my pick. But I love him. He's such a
fun player.
I think Golday, and honestly, in this situation, I would consider Max Clare for the Patriots because they need a tight end, but I wouldn't take him over Golday, or I wouldn't take him over D'Angelo Pons, even though we said we might not need a corner. So I agree. I think linebacker is a huge need, and Jake Golday is really good value here in the early part of the 3rd round.
Oh, yeah. I'd be surprised if he's there, frankly. But I think
Probably
that's a
not.
really good pick.
If he makes it past Denver twice before New England can get him, I would be shocked because I think Denver could use him also.
Right.
And they're right above New England in almost every situation. So we will take Jake Golday out of Cincinnati. I'll pause it real quick, and you can go ahead. Can you share the will again? It's not on the screen anymore. Sorry.
Because we did a Patriots beat that really tested my computer. If you haven't checked it out yet, we had Taylor, Mike, and Evan drafting with us as well. So my computer is really overheating. Hopefully,
yeah. If it happens again, then we'll just leave the will off and
we'll figure it out. Yeah, but it should be fine.
We'll figure.
Take that off.
Remove and see what we got now.
Spin it again.
A trade up here would be pretty nice just to get off some
This is where I want him to trade up. I want him to trade up from 95. There's some good defense options at 95. We're not helping Drake May out at all.
We are not helping Drake May out.
What the wheel wants.
Patriots fans are not going to be happy with this mock once they see it. So we'll let it roll to the Patriots pick here. Go ahead and see. Obviously, we've already taken Emmanuel McNeil Warren and Jake Golday. So now we're looking at what, edge rusher, interior defensive lineman, probably just with the positions we've addressed.
Yeah, let me see the defensive tackle. I guess they still need an edge rusher. We probably should go edge. I love the defensive tackles in this range. I'm a big Dominique Orange guy. I'm a big Dante Corleone guy. Oh, wow. This has been picked clean.
Yeah, this is not a very good edge board.
I don't even want to go we probably should go edge. Defensive tackle too. Is Corleone's not even there? We're at 95, right?
Yeah, we're at 95 right here. Yeah.
Sheesh. All right.
Grayson Halton's not a bad option. Bigger athletic guy, if I remember right.
Yeah, if they're going defensive tackle, they have those guys though. I actually like Eric Gregory and why am I blanking on their names? Not Leonard Williams. Like the rotational defense tackles they had. I'm sorry. It's a lot of mock drafts today.
Are you talking about who's on the roster right now?
Yeah, like
Corey Durden. They have Joshua Farmer,
Leonard Taylor,
Joshua. Yeah.
Right. They need the nose tackle. They need the Farmer replacement. Is Tim Keenan even there?
Yeah, he is. I just saw him. And I was going to say that with the loss of Kyrie's Tonga, they probably need a run-stuffing guy that can fit in the middle and play more stouter positions than Barmore and Milton Williams can on a more consistent basis. So stoutest guy here, I mean, probably Tim Keenan, right?
Who's there for corners? Because corner's a sneaky need. And I really haven't been able to draft a corner with this pick in many of my mocks. Is Dalen Everett still there? Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
I do really like Dalen Everett. I think he profiles as the kind of corner they want. Physical, outside, man corner. He's a guy that can step in. He's definitely going to be an upgrade over Charles Woods as your third corner this year. And then, to me, he has the upside that Carlton Davis has no guaranteed money in his contract after the end of the season. If you're going to pay Gonzalez, you're probably not going to also pay. I don't think they would then also pay Carlton Davis and re-up him. So now you're talking about needing another boundary corner, and I think he has that upside. I like Malik Muhammad too. He's a little smaller, not as much their kind of guy. Davison Igbinoza, I see is there, as very inconsistent. Like the highs, but I like Dalen Everett. I do. I think that's all, because we're not going to take a safety or linebacker. We've taken those. So
yeah, probably not. It's really edge. Yeah, if I'm going corner here, I'm going Dalen Everett. I also have you watched any Ephraim Prysock from Washington? He was an FCS guy, big long corner.
So it's funny. The guy I like, similar description in that range, is one above him. Hezekiah Massis from Cal. My thing, and it's Massis and then Devin Marshall from NC State. And this also goes to AJ Halsey too. I like him for the Patriots. I've become so focused on, they were a very good preventative defense last year. They prevented opposing offenses from doing things, which is good. You want to do that. They didn't force a lot of turnovers. They didn't have a lot of tackles for loss. They didn't have a ton of sacks. They need to start making plays of their own. That's the next level, and just not have the offense make plays. Hezekiah Mass's on-ball production is insane. Him and in terms of talking pass breakups, interceptions, I get his numbers because I talk about two of them so much. Him and Marshall's numbers mixed up a lot. Masses, and he transferred. He was a smaller school guy. I don't think he was FCS. It's pulling up here. So he was at FIU for 3 years and then transfers to Cal last year, has 13 pass breakups and 5 interceptions. 6'2", long arms. He is the exact kind of corner I want to see them at. But I just think Dalen Everett's a better player. SEC tested multiple years to start all of that. So I'd go Everett, but I would
agree. I'd agree. If we're in like the 4th round, we would probably be talking a little bit more about Price Hawk and Massis and stuff. But let's go Dalen Everett here. I'll hurry and draft him and then pause it again so we can spin the wheel. So let's hope we get some sort of wheel spin that gives us an offensive player, because like you said, we've been forced to go Emmanuel McNeil-Warren in the first. We had to trade down. We got Jake Golday, and then we just took Dalen Everett, a corner. So we've gotten 3 straight defensive guys for the Patriots. Now we get to take an ACC player.
Wait, wow,
yes.
taking it right to the edge there. All right,
almost.
There are some good. So we're going to be at 125 here.
Yes.
I don't know what we're getting on the edge. There is a receiver I think that could help us.
Okay,
in
so
the ACC. Let's see edge first because they need an edge. Also a tackle. Actually, there's a tackle that could help us. No
ACC guys here.
I'm not going to get help on the edge. I'm not a big Vincent guy. So
Jude Brown,
Jude Bowery and Markel
Bowery,
Bell.
Yep.
Bowery and Bell both have not right now. They're probably not year 1 starters, but have the potential to be starting right tackles in the NFL.
Yep.
So we have those 2 guys. The other guy I want to see if you can go to receiver real quick. Also, we don't have a tight end yet either.
Nope.
Is CJ Daniel? That's way too low for CJ Daniels. This is probably a reach at 125. I think he's probably more in the 150 to 170 range. 200 is too low. Excellent contested, spectacular catch guy. It's kind of all he does. I'm not a big Justin Jolie guy. I like Eli Raridon. Are we counting Notre Dame?
I was going to say, can we count Notre Dame as the ACC? Because I do like Raridon.
The wild card? Nah, let's go with, I don't know how you feel about Daniels. If you really like him, I could take him here. If not, I think we go with one of those tackles.
I would rather go with I would rather go with Bowery or Markel Bell over Daniels, honestly. And I think, I don't know which way I lean, honestly. I think the Patriots have a little bit more ties to Boston College and Bowery, and maybe we'll just think of keeping him home and taking him there. I don't think that one's significantly better than the other. They're both, like you said, probably a year away from starting, give you great depth behind Morgan Moses if he were to get hurt, but then also can develop with Doug Marrone. So is there one that you would rather have, Bowery or Markel Bell?
I go back and forth. It's kind of a floor ceiling thing. Bell's size, I always like the oversized tackles. Like, you can't teach size, right?
6'9". He's massive.
I think he's like 37-inch arms. Bowery's a great athlete, and I think he has upside. Now, he has to flip sides, which is going to be a process. Bowery probably is a better pick for the short term because they also need a backup tackle. Like, I don't really trust James Hudson.
Yeah.
They need a backup swing tackle. I trust Bowery in that role. But I think if you're talking about trying to find a starting right tackle, it might take a little longer to get there, but Bell has a better chance of getting there. So it's kind of, how do you value the pick? What are you looking for?
Let me ask you this. This is an interesting question I've thought about, and I've asked Cole, when we've been on podcast talking about the free agency. Do you think the Patriots are trying to get more athletic on the offensive line? Obviously, they drafted Will Campbell last year. They're moving Jared Wilson to center. They've gotten Elijah Vera Tucker. Do they need a more athletic guy on the right side? Because right now, the right side with Owenu and Morgan Moses is like strength and just brute force. And so are they looking to get more athletic?
Mike Vrabel said in an interview at the Combine with Patriots.com, asked about the improvements you want to see from the offense. He mentioned strength, and Evan Lazard did the interview and was like, oh, like, mentally tough or whatever. Like, get in the weight room, just be physically stronger, impose your will. I think they actually want more of what's on that right side. I think they want to build more into that. And you look at who they've added this offseason, Elijah Vera Tucker, Reggie Gilliam, Julian Hill, like, you see that playing out. So if we're going to go by that, it's a good point to bring up, then it's Markel Bell.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's go Markel Bell then. I think, like you said, that size is really hard to miss on. You can, I don't want to say cover up a lot of deficiencies with it, but you can work with his size and his length a lot easier than you can work with some other things that other guys have. So finally get, I guess it's some help for Drake May, but finally get an offensive player. So let's see what the next pick we have to make, which will be pretty short here for the Patriots in the 4th round.
Bell, by the way, 6'9", 346, 36.5-inch arms.
Jeez. Massive.
Yeah, big dude.
Massive.
All right.
SEC? Is it going to hang on?
There's some Big 12
Big
receivers.
12.
Okay. It's time to get Drake May a receiver. Or a tight end. There's some Big 12 tight ends.
Yes. Okay, so Patriots are up. Pick 131. So you want to look at receiver first?
Or we still don't have an edge rusher, do we?
We don't have an edge rusher.
All right, we got a lot to look at. So receiver, we've got Jeff Caldwell would be the guy for me here if we're doing Big
Really?
12.
Okay. I love.
Yeah.
Have you watched McAllister?
Not a ton, honestly.
You should get eyes on him a little bit more. I haven't
Okay.
watched enough of Caldwell. I like McAllister. Vertical threat, does great with the ball in his hands and is a burner. Tight ends, Michael Trigg is an intriguing pass catching option, but he probably doesn't give you much in the pass blocking game. Joe Royer is actually really interesting also.
Dalen Bentley
really
is
no
an
one
interesting
else.
one. Again, trying to get stronger up front. And then what do we have on the edge?
Edge, we got from let's see, Big 12 we're
Still
looking for.
nothing.
Yeah, a little
Trey
bit.
Moore, maybe.
Yeah, there's not
If you
much
like,
here.
if you like, so the thing with Caldwell to me is just like the physical upside, right? 6'5", has a 42-inch vertical, the 4.3 40. Really has not played a lot of football. 1 year at the FBS level, wasn't super productive. You're drafting purely on trades. But that's what, and you know, Josh Cameron is kind of a similar player. He's a little more proven. Caldwell to me has the better traits, but like you're just drafting traits. You're drafting individual traits. It's not a more put together play. If you like McAllister, we could go that way too.
So McAllister's an interesting one because he's 6'4", 194 pounds. He didn't go to the combine, so you don't have really any testing scores on him. He looks like he plays the game really fast. Like he can blow by guys. He had a lot of receptions. He came from Boise State. So he came from a program that was really good at the group of 5 level. In 2023, he had 873 yards, 18.6 yards per reception. And then in 2024, he had 19.5 yards per reception. And that was his first year at TCU. And so big play threat, gives them something down the field. I really do like McAllister. I would go him, or do you think receiver or tight end is more likely at this spot? Do you like the tight ends more than any of those guys?
None of the Big 12 tight ends. None of the Big 12 tight ends. So yeah,
so
let's go receiver.
Okay, I want to take McAllister. I really like McAllister. He's a guy that I've been watching a lot of and have kind of had in my vision for a little bit as, you know, a potential 4th round guy that has, like you said, traits, speed, gives you a big play threat ability on the outside. So let's give it a spin. See, let's see. We have a 5th, a 6th because that trade down.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get a trade up here. Nope, not going to happen. Okay, it's going to be your pick. It looks like.
So we still need a tight end,
edge.
Still need an edge. Those are really the big two. Maybe
we
we
not
took
addressed.
a linebacker.
All right, so we're up at pick 171. What do you want to look at first?
Let's just tight end and edge. I think are the two, and then maybe defensive tackle. So I like Raritan. Raritan's probably the tight end I'm taking from that group.
Edge.
Ugh. Just nothing there, but it's not going to get any better the more we wait.
Yeah.
There's some guys I like super late. What do we got at defensive tackle?
D-line.
So K-Part's not bad. Yeah, that's kind of it. Yeah, let's go Eli Raritan. Let's get a tight end, a guy that can catch and block. I think that's very important. A guy that would probably go higher, has a couple ACL tears in his past. Those are, I think it's 21 and 22, so it's been a few years. It's a little removed from that. But has upside. And I think at the very least should be a capable tight end too. And if you have to dip back into the draft next year in 2 years to replace Hunter Henry, so be it. But this is going to be the other guy. And I think he at least has the ability to be a solid other guy. So, yeah, let's go Eli Raritan here.
Yeah, I agree. He's my...
They don't have Oscar Delp super low in the 200s like PFF does, do they? No, I think they've fixed it. Yeah. So let's go Eli Raritan. Oscar Delp's going to be a top 80 pick.
Yeah, I like Raritan too. 6'6", 245. He ran a 4.62. He had a good 10-yard split. Like I think this guy's getting held back just a little bit because of his injury history, but he's a really good player that sometimes I think Notre Dame just forgot was on the field. And also they had Jeremiah Love and Shadarian Price. So he was hindered by some of that. They just didn't need to throw the ball as much. So, but I do like him as a bigger option down the middle of the field. So let's see. We still have 4 or 5 more picks. So we're
something like that. Do we have enough spots on the wheel?
Well, now that we made the trade, we might not. So we might just we'll see.
Throw it all back on for the last one. All right, here we go.
If we get a trade up here in a little bit, we're gonna have to do a 2027 pick or whatever. Offense.
All
All right.
We've
Let's
taken
go.
all the offense players. I guess it's time to look at running backs or maybe a guard.
Yep. Okay. So this is the one that we got from Las Vegas. So we could look at interior linemen.
Jeremiah Wright. What pick number is this? What are we on?
We're on 175.
5? Okay.
This is the one we got
actually
with the trade down.
171. Yeah. Oh, right.
This is the one we got trading
we have
for
more than
Vegas.
11 picks. Yeah. Jeremiah Wright's Patriots pick could be a Michael Nwinu replacement. Same with Inez Cooper. Who's their running back? I usually don't take running backs this high, so I kind of want to see.
Where am I? Why am I? There you go, running back right here.
Yeah, Damon Claiborne's a really good fit for the Patriots, and it does kind of fall off after him. So there's other good guards. I think we go Claiborne.
Let's see. We still haven't gotten an edge. That hasn't gotten any better. Oh, we're
we
offense.
have to do
Never mind.
We have to do offense.
You're right. Yeah. I like Pat Coogan too. That dude just plays freaking football, but we probably don't. He's a center. He's
only a center, right? And
yeah,
clear the runway for Jared Wilson. They have Ben Brown too. This is a great center draft. Yeah. I like Coogan too. I don't think he's playing guard though. He's probably just a center. Right?
And if they were to take him and move him to guard, it's probably just the same thing as Jared Wilson. Like you're gonna want him to play center eventually, and they don't need to do that with back-to-back guys with him and Jared Wilson. So who was it you said you wanted to take? Sorry.
Claiborne, the running back from Wake Forest.
Oh, yep, the running back. Yep. Okay. Damon Claiborne, running back, Wake Forest. Okay, so there we go. Get a guy in the backfield there with Travion Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson, especially after they cut or released Antonio Gibson. Lan Larison could have a role this year too. Excited to see if he does anything healthy. So, okay, let's give it another spin. There we go.
Right,
there's our trade.
Some of these picks. Let's go.
Okay, so our next
the end of the episode. It's just a lot of picks.
Our next pick is at 185, and we're already on 177 right here, because that 185 is the one we got from the Raiders also. So we got to make a trade up here very soon.
Okay, so wherever you're at right now, where are you at right now?
We're at 177, Dallas.
Dallas has 2 picks here. Hang on, let me see. Dallas, we're in the 170s. Yeah, Dallas is the logical trade team here. So we just undo the trade we did before, basically, and get that 6-pack.
Go. Let's see. So we're moving up to 185 for 180 or 177.
Yeah, so move up to 177 from 185.
Okay.
And then give him a 7th.
Okay.
It says that's not enough.
It's saying not enough for New England. So
really?
Yeah.
What about for 180?
We traded 180 away to the Raiders.
Or what don't they have another pick right here?
They have 202.
Dallas?
Oh, Dallas. Oh, so we're going to give the 7th and get 180?
Yeah, instead of 177. What about doing
Okay, yep, they would accept that. So we'd move up 5 spots and move off 185 and 247.
Let's do that.
Okay, let's do that
trade. Then we have 4 left with 4 spots on the wheel.
Let's get the wheel. There you go.
Oh, no, with 3 spots on the wheel.
3 spots. So we'll
have to reload it for the last one.
We'll reload the wheel and see. Yep. Okay, let's see what this one is. Big 10 SEC or Jace's pick. SEC looks like.
Looks like it. All right, we got to go edge rusher here. We George Gumm's still there.
Sapp.
Patrick Payton's still there. Patrick Payton,
261. He's right there. Yep.
Patrick Payton's a very interesting player to me because 2 years ago, Florida State, he looked like a breakout guy. He looked like he was going to be a top 50 pick. Now that was playing next to Jared Verse.
Yeah.
Ever since he stopped playing next to Jared Verse or opposite Jared Verse, he hasn't quite been the same guy. But can you tap into that? I don't know. For a 6th-round pick, I would take that risk. There's a couple other SEC guys here. Trey Moore is an interesting one.
Trey Moore. I like Trey Moore.
He's a hybrid. He might be an off-ball linebacker too. I'd actually probably go Trey Moore over Patrick Payton.
I think I would too. I would lean Trey Moore just a little bit more. He had 14 sacks in 2023. He's a little bit older of a prospect, but I mean, he was elite in 2023, and then he had 5.5 last year, or in 2024, 3 last year. So I think I would go Trey Moore also.
Yeah, he's also the guy that can do a little bit of everything, and you want that versatility in this range in the draft.
Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and take him. We'll pause it again. We got 3 picks left and 2 on the.
Yep.
All right, let's see what we get, and then we'll reload it after these 2 spins.
You're up.
Okay. I mean, at this point, we're looking to double dip or take a position that, I don't want to say isn't a need, but probably a lot of people don't see. One thing that I think is really interesting right here, and I'm going to look at, they need a third quarterback. I'm pretty sure
Vrabel did say they want to add Norm.
Yes. And so I think the one that I like the most is Haynes King. I think he's such a fun player to watch. The other one is, and I don't think he'll be here. Do you think Cole Payton's here in the 6th round?
No, neither.
I don't either. And so I kind of want to respect the board because I would take Cole Payton right here, but I don't think he's here.
I would take Taylor Green if we're just going by what's on the board. But yeah,
they could use him. Yeah.
The other guy I like, well, so it's fine. I think Haynes King is a Taysom Hill player. Maybe more running back than tight end, but I think he's that kind of thing. I love the way he carries the football, man. He's fearless. Yeah. Sawyer Robertson to me kind of screams like Patriots backup too. Like he profiles similarly to Drake May, not the same extent, but the same prototype of player. But they met with Haynes King, like they've been tied to him. Maybe Josh McDaniels gets creative with them. The only other quarterback, there's really not a lot of quarterbacks that fit for them for me in this draft. The only other one, as you scroll there, is Joe Fiano, but you can get him in the 7th. So at this point, yeah, I mean, I could see Haynes King for sure.
Wait, we're not taking Diego Pavia?
No.
I'm leaning towards Haynes King. I just wanted to make sure that there's no one else as I scroll down here. Charles Deming as a cornerback is pretty. I don't think he'll be here either.
No,
JC Davis as an offensive tackle. He
what
won't
pick
be
is
here.
This? What pick
this
is this?
191.
Yeah, probably not with JC Davis. Definitely not with Demings.
Yeah, I mean Kamara if you want it because we got edge rushers so late.
I don't love Kamara for them. Let me ask you this: if they couldn't make it work with Keon White, are they going to be able to make it work with Kamara?
Probably not. And that's what a lot of people. Ooh, Jack Kelly, he's a fun off-ball linebacker, but we already took Golday, Kozel. Yeah.
If you want another corner, Devin Marshall would be a guy here. He's another one of those like really productive corners. Really only has one. He didn't really play until last year. And he kind of came out of nowhere and had an awesome year. He transferred. I forget where he transferred from. He had 16 pass breakups last year. So gets thrown at a lot, but he is able to get his hands on the football. Very athletic. I'm trying to find his size here. Transferred from Villanova. That's what it was. 6 foot, 190. So not quite as big as some of those other guys.
There's a couple other names scrolling through here, like Lorenzo Styles, obviously Sonny Styles' brother. Don't think he's here at this point either. He tested really well. Someone will take a chance.
Right.
Tyron Montgomery, small school guy. Again, maybe has a chance to make it here, but I'm going to go just because we know that Mike Vrabel said they want an arm. I'm going to go with Haynes King because I do like his ability to play other things. I think any team in the NFL with a creative enough OC or head coach that's willing to do it could use someone like a Taysom Hill, to do unique things with. And, how much you use them, is it 20, 30 reps a game? Probably not, but still 10 reps a game makes teams have to prepare for that type of package. And it makes it really hard to defend on defenses. So take Haynes King there. And then we will now spin again for our last one. Well, we don't need to spin. It's obviously going to be a Big Ten player. So we can just reset the board after this and then we'll spin. So we know we have to take a Big Ten player. Okay. So if we roll through, now we're at 198. Okay, if we're going Big Ten player, I guess we could have saved quarterback and went Sawyer Robertson, but what position? Double dipping.
We should probably double dip at edge since we had to wait so long. I like Kamara. For everything I just said, I like Kamara. At this point in the draft, what the hell? Take a shot on talent.
Yeah,
it's kind of where I would be. So there's not a lot of Big Ten guys here.
Yeah, I would agree. The best on the board is him. So I think we got to take
interior lineman. What is there for interior?
From the Big Ten, Coogan. We already talked him
much
through.
From the Big Ten. Yeah, let's go Kamara.
Okay, I like that one. Okay, let's go edge. Kamara. We'll pause. We gotta redo the thing.
Yeah, so I think if I click this link again, right, it'll give me a reloaded one. Yeah, it did. So hang on, I just got to share a different tab.
Yep, you're good. This should be our last one. Let me make sure. Yep, we're on our last one. Pick 202. It was only 4 picks away, so hopefully we don't get a trade one.
Trade up.
Yeah,
trade up. At that point, I think we just flip it for a future pick and we're done.
Yeah. Big 12. After we just took a Big 12 player.
All right, I saw some Big 12. Let's what do we got for the interior? I think there were some Big 12 interior guys there.
Yeah, you got he SEC no.
Yeah, no, not really. Memphis isn't in the Big 12 yet. That's going to happen eventually. But wow, really nothing. How about tackle?
Double dip at tackle, always a good idea. JC Davis, he's Big 10, Big 12. Isaac Chata, no.
Enrique Cruz is like a really good combine tester. Check some of their like height, weight, athleticism boxes for how Elliott Wolf has traditionally drafted tackles. Just gives you another option. I don't know if he's going to be anything in the NFL, but I think they met with him too. Like he makes some sense for them. Oh, they need a punter. And I believe, no, there are no Big 12 punters. I don't know why I thought there was.
Yeah, Tyler Perkins is the only one on there.
Yep. You don't need to draft Tyler Perkins.
Yeah, don't need a kicker. Long snapper, not going to probably take. Already got a safety. Running back.
Yeah, let's go. Let's double up at tackle. Let's go Enrique Cruz.
Okay, let me go to my offensive tackle. Scroll down. Enrique Cruz out of Kansas. Take him. Let the draft roll on. We'll show you guys, and we'll talk about it. Obviously, a little bit of a different mock draft because we had to do the will of chaos. But that's why this one's
said
fun.
At the beginning. That's just, how many times I say, "Oh, I never get to take a running back here. Oh, I never get to take a corner here." If they go out of the bubble, these are the names to know. It was informative. It was educational. I don't know how great I'd feel if this was their draft.
Probably not good at all.
But I think we learned a lot.
Yeah. So for the first round, we got a non-power forward player. So right off the rip, that obviously caused chaos because it was really only Emmanuel McNeil-Warren or potentially Chris Johnson out of San Diego State. Then after that, what was it? Best player available, which we decided got to be best player available in the Patriots' mind at a position of need. So we went with Jake Golday. Then after that, it was an SEC player, or no, was it just defense? Defense, I think it was. Yeah. And then, from there on, it went to
that was best
ACC.
Player, but there were no good edge guys. Golday, I think, was just best player.
Yeah, sorry. Golday was Everett SEC or was that defense? I forget what we got there, but still. So we kind of, like we said, we probably would have liked to have dressed offense or edge a little bit sooner, but we couldn't have done it at 31 because there was a no non-P4 edge that we thought was good there. At 67, best player available was easily Jake Golday. And we also had to trade down off of our pick in the second round. That was the spin that we got. So we kind of got stuck with some of those. So do you want to speed run one more, reset it, speed run one more? We don't have to take a lot of time talking about it, but see how much different it is.
Let's see if we can do one more.
Okay, let me reset this. We'll speed run one more, just so hopefully we don't get some craziness in the first half like we did last time. Okay, let's go ahead and I will share the wheel and we can go ahead and spin it and we'll see where we're at and start speed running this once we know.
All right, here we go. If it's small school guy again, I think we just call it. No, literally opposite end of the wheel. Defense.
All right.
Sorry, what was it breaking up?
One sec. One sec. Sorry, I got to reset this because I didn't put it on fast. Okay. So,
all right.
Yeah, it was taking way too long for the picks to. It was gonna be rolling on forever, so I didn't want to wait through all those. All right, here we go.
All right.
It still looks like it's going a little slow, but
yeah, my computer's being laggy too.
You're good. We don't have to go through all 7 rounds on this one. We'll get the first 3 or 4.
Do like a top 100.
Yeah. Do a 3-round mock for this one. Okay, so we have to go defensive player here. So if we're talking defense right here,
right to the edge rushers.
Boom. TJ Parker, Cassius Howe, Malachi Lawrence.
From that group, I like TJ Parker. I'm a believer in what he did in 24. I think everybody got dragged down with that Clemson program in 25. Thank you, Dabo. This would be a great pick for them if they can land TJ Parker.
I would too. If it wasn't TJ Parker, are you going Howell or Lawrence?
Lawrence, let me put a third guy in that conversation. Gabe Akis from Illinois. Yep. Huge fan of his. Huge fan of his. Explosive. What's the one word they've kept using when they talk about their defense? And since the day Vrabel got here, The one word they keep using is violence.
Violence,
and he might be the most violent guy in this draft. Certainly he's the most violent edge rusher in this draft. I think TJ Parker is just a little bit better of a player right now. Their ceilings are probably comparable. But Parker, I trust more, even more so day one than year one. But, and I like Lawrence too, and I think they're going to love Lawrence. He's just kind of everything they want at the position. But I think Parker's the best of all scenarios there.
I agree. I'm going to take him. TJ Parker, I believe, has top 10 player in this class potential. Just like how he was looked at before this year going into this draft, he was a top 10 player on a lot of people's big boards. So take TJ Parker here, give it another spin, see where we're at. We'll probably just do 2 more picks here to get a 3-round mock draft for the Patriots on this one.
All right. Here we go. Big 10.
Big 10. All right, we can work with that. There's a lot of Big 10 players. Okay.
Yeah, let's go to Max Clare.
Yeah.
Call my shot right now, Max Clare.
I would love it.
Is he still there?
Yes, he
there
is at the top of the board. Okay, let's see. I just want to see. No, there's no receiver we would take there.
No receivers. No tackles.
No tackles. We already took an edge. The only other position that maybe you could think of would be linebacker, but that's not enough to take over Max Clare. So I agree. Max Clare.
Big 10 linebacker.
No doubt
Max
about
Clare's
it.
the guy.
Okay, let's give it one more spin.
Tight end at 63 just feels, whether it's Clare or Delp, feels very easy to me.
Yeah. Okay, and then last one we'll do today. Oh, BPA. All right, I thought we were going to get a trade up here a little bit early. Like you said, this is your favorite position. So we'll decide BPA based off of, obviously, the board and then what we think the Patriots. So we've taken an edge. We've taken a tight end, which might be 2 of their biggest needs. Best player available on this board right now. You love Dominic Orange, you said. Elijah Surratt is there. Ted Hurst, Skylar Bell. Where are you leaning?
I think it's Big Citrus. I might be a little biased, but that dude can freaking. He actually reminds me a lot of Tonga. Like, that's my player comp for him, where you look at him, 6'2", 340, high motor, high energy, physical run stopper, can plug gaps, can shoot gaps. But there's like a tiny bit of, he's not a total liability as a pass rusher. The thing I kept saying with Tonga last year that I see in Dominic Orange is you're not going to have Kyrus Song on the field on 3rd and 10.
Yeah.
But on like a 2nd and 5 or a 3rd and 3 where they can maybe run it, but they also might pass it, you're not worried about leaving him out there as liability. He's at least going to push the pocket a little bit. And so that to me is where Tonga's value came from. It's not just how good of a run stopper he was that when you get into those tweener downs, because the year before they only had small defensive tackles, they could rush the passer and they'd kind of default to that on 3rd and 3. Teams just run the ball on them. So having a guy that can play on those tweener downs, I think is really an underrated skill set. And I think Dominic Orange can do it. So I don't know how, if people might kind of lose their minds if they go D tackle, top 100, 95. I also don't know if he'll be there. If he is, I'd run the card up. Dude can freaking play. And a great motor, great energy, leader, all that, team captain, like terrific make. To me, if he doesn't play, if he plays a premium position with everything else in his makeup, like he's a top 50 player. He just plays nose tackle.
Yeah, the hard part about him is people are going to look at him and look at his production. Over his last 1,356 snaps, he only had 7 TFLs, 58 tackles. But that's not what you're drafting for. Like, the impact Tonga had was not seen on the stat sheet. Like, you just could not put Kyrie's Tonga's impact on the stat sheet for the normal fan and people that are just looking at the stat book. So I agree. I don't think that there's a better player on the board right here. There's better fits positional wise, but if the Patriots are really looking to just get, like you said, stronger, bigger, they love violence, he's probably one of the best options for them here there. So we'll stop right there. A little bit better of a start for the Patriots, at least. Obviously get TJ Parker, who's thought of at one point as a top 10 player in this class. Clemson, bad year. He had a bad year. They get a huge need in Max Clare, who I really like and think could be a kind of Mark Andrews type player in the NFL. Good in the run, good in the pass, solid at a lot of things, and came from Ohio State, which we all know. Mike Vrabel has huge ties there, went there. Yeah. Obviously, Matt Patricia being there, things like that. And then Big Citrus, Dominic Orange in replacing Kyrie's Tonga. So feel a little bit better about this start than the last one?
Yes. No, this is like an A+ for me. I'm higher on Orange maybe than some. I think some people like to see a tackle there. You know, if we kept it going we'd probably go Bell, Bowery, Crown over one of those guys, Austin Barber at 125. You throw one of those tackles in there at that point, I'm loving it. Great draft. Much better.
Yes, much better looking. Not quite as fun as what we had to go through for the first one, but a little bit better looking for the outlook of potentially the Patriots 2026, 2027 season and the future. So, and I appreciate it. I know how busy you are. Obviously, you just got off of the live with the Patriots beat. You did a mock draft there. You hopped straight on here. So appreciate you coming on. This is always fun. I look forward to you guys doing it. I'll for sure watch it at some point because I love seeing, all the different scenarios. No one draft is the same when you do it this way.
Right. No, I appreciate you letting us borrow it.
Yeah, no, it's always fun. Appreciate you adopting it and having fun with it because I think it's always fun. So appreciate you guys. If you have not already, please go follow Alex on YouTube at the Patriots Beat. Make sure you tune into his shows. Make sure you're on his Instagram or Twitter, always posting and keeping us up to date as Patriots fans. And then if you guys haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube and follow us on Instagram. So Alex, anything else to say?
Happy draft season, everybody.
I can't believe we're in draft month officially.
It really flew. Well, when the season runs 6 weeks later than you're used to it. Not that I'm complaining.
Yeah.
Kind of short season.
It's funny because I usually do mock draft Mondays every Monday starting in January, but this year, since they're in the playoffs, I'm like, no one wants to hear draft talk right now. I was still in the draft mode, but I'm like, we're still playing meaningful football games. So starting at 6 weeks later, no complaints, that's for sure. Now we just need them to finish it off and get the 7th banner hanging up in Gillette Stadium.
That's right.
So, okay, well, we appreciate it, guys. And until next time, talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this edition of the Patriots Drive podcast. Follow us on social media to stay up to date with all things New England Patriots. Make sure you tune in to the next episode and check out patriotsdrive.com for more great content.
7-year on to Cincinnati.